This is going to be your daily reading for Mermaid Mondays, and this is going to be for Monday, May the 27th, 2019. So I'm just going to do a grand spread. I'm not going to do, oops, sorry, I keep shaking the camera. I'm not going to do like a general and then love. I'm just going to like, mash up whatever wants to come out. I apologize. I haven't really been doing my Saturdays and Sunday readings. It's like my weekends are my time off, and then on top of that, we just laid one of our family members to rest, so this entire weekend's been dedicated to that. Plus, I went to a concert for my cousin's birthday, or my birthday gift to my cousin, so I didn't really have much time to even do that this weekend. And then on top of that, I have a whole bunch of other readings I have to catch up on and things like that. So um, if you guys are waiting for those Taurus readings, you guys really have to be patient with me. If patience is not your virtue, then it's free anyway. It was like a free gift to Tauruses. If you're impatient and you don't want to wait, then I guess, just let it just be whatever. But honestly, I do need time to get to those readings because um, they're not really top priority. I get to them when I have time to do them. um I have to honor the readings that are booked, paid for readings that are booked. Also, keeping my channel going and those readings, like I try to do a good job at posting my dailies and making sure that, anytime that I get a message to post on YouTube, I honor that as well. So if you guys are patient with me, I would greatly appreciate that. If not, if you guys are not able to understand that, it is what it is. Like right now, my energy is like I went through a whole dark night of the soul a couple of weeks ago before the Scorpio full moon came along. Like my energy was all over the place with that, trying to ground myself, cleanse, clear, release, keep my cool, keep my sanity. And then during that time, we lost a family member. So on top of that, and then on top of all this other stuff going on, all these transitions and things like that, I'm trying to remain grounded and keep up with everything. So hopefully, those who understand, and for those of you who don't, that's unfortunate. It is what it is. Alright, so thank you, Most High God, for coming through this reading. I ask for nothing but love, light, truth, and clarity, and that this reading be surrounded with the utmost divine protection as we are divinely protected. So I'm just going to tap into the collective energy. What is the collective energy surrounding Monday, the May the 27th? May the 27th. May the 27th. What is the energy? Okay. Yearning, telepathy. We got this last Monday. Okay. Coral's wisdom, homeland, and divine sensuality. Okay. Interesting energies. Interesting. Move these out of the way. Now I am going to do a quick little something with my shelves. Okay, not too many came out today. I think, okay, a couple of them came out. Alright. So we got the shell is broken now. So there's some brokenness. 2 raw cut amethysts came out. So that could speak of the telepathy, the communication between 2 people. I feel like 2 people that are going through a breakup, or just 2 people that are separated. Doesn't have to be romantically. It could be some sort of separation. Telepathically communicating. I feel like there's a lot that's left unsaid. Someone wants clarity. Someone desires clarity. Some of you may receive clarity from this, but maybe through telepathy. You know, this telepathic communication could lead to clarity, or you're seeking this. You maybe feel like this is the only way. Some of you guys feel like whatever this separative energy is final, at least for right now, from your perception of things and where you're at right now. You might feel like something is permanently set in stone. It is what it is. Some of you guys are trying to make peace with that. It's hair on my selenite. Um, Trying to make peace with this, whatever it is, the separative energy, or in order to find peace or some sort of closure, you're trying to communicate with this other person, or this person could be doing that with you. But I feel like this is more so on your ends, the person watching. Someone is carrying more of the heaviness of this separative energy more so than another person. Okay, so that's the energy from that. Now let's get into the reading, and I'm going to clarify with tarot. So the overall energy was yearning, longing for someone, undesired separation, pining is the keywords. So this could be a separation of any sort. Doesn't have to be all romantic, even though the cards show a couple. It's like a mermaid that's kind of pining or like crying over this man. He's seemingly dead. Okay. I hate to bring this type of energy because it's like already enough to deal with in the first place. But for some of you, that could be the case, is that someone has passed on, and you're trying to make peace with the fact that this person has passed on. Um, for others of you, this could be just like something you feel like you just can't, like, the relationship is like dead, or you feel like it's something that you just can't revitalize. It could be a friendship, it could be a family situation where it's like no coming back from something, or you feel like it's long gone, it's long overdue. Some of you guys may be going through a breakup or separation with someone, whether it be through distance or travel. For some of you, it could be travel. um, or you guys are just in the midst of something, and you kind of feel like it's you're in a dark period and you really don't see ahead right now. You're unable to see ahead due to your emotions. With the telepathy card, this is in the challenge position. So I feel like it could be, okay, so it says nonverbal communication, energetic pulses, mind reading, in quotations, mind reading. So some of you guys feel like you don't really know what you're saying. It's like, I can't read your mind, or I'm not a psychic, I can't read, you know. Someone may be saying that to the other person. Someone may wish that they can. I, I'm like, I don't know why this just came to me, but the Avant song, it's an R&B song by singer Avant. It's called Read Your Mind. And I just thought of this funny meme that I posted earlier today. But anyway, that came up in my mind. I heard it, the song Read Your Mind. So it could be that some of you guys may feel like, you know, I really don't know what this person is thinking. I can only assume what this person is like thinking. Um, and then for someone else, they could just be assuming they know what the other person is thinking. And I feel like someone might get angry at the fact that someone thinks that they know how they feel rather than what it is, or someone is angry at themselves because they may feel like they're assuming something. Some of you guys may feel like I'm crazy. I don't know if this is really coming from me. Am I really hearing this person? Is this really for me? Blah blah blah. So it could be that you're challenged by this energy. um some of you guys, this could be a friendship for some of you, or it could be, okay, so it could be a friendship between two women. It could be a um relative, two women, or it could be like a romantic situation. But I mainly feel like someone is looking at themselves and how they feel, and it's like they're seeking clarity about how someone else feels about them. And it could come through telepathic communication, or it's just like assuming what the other person may be thinking or feeling, or like not wanting to jump to conclusions or assume what another person is thinking or feeling. Okay, So your challenge is that energy. Your approach is coral's wisdom, and it says colony, delicacy, fragility, works that are created over great periods of time. So I feel that this situation may be very sensitive, like a very sensitive topic for a lot of you in different ways, unique, to your situation. Everybody's different. This is a general reading. This reading may not resonate in its entirety, maybe bits and pieces. It's going to ring true for people differently, and for some it may not even resonate at all or make any type of sense, and that's maybe because it's not for you, or it's just not for you right now. But just take what sits with you, whatever stands out to you. Use your own discernment. But I feel that someone may feel like they put a lot of energy into something, and they're starting to feel that they're on their own, or they feel like it's one-sided in some instances. um, just very sensitive. Some of you guys maybe feel like you're wearing yourselves out, excuse me, or tired, literally, of this, like it's draining your energy. Then you have homeland. Some of you guys may not be even able to sleep because of this energy, or if it's not you, then maybe this is someone on the receiving end of your connection. This isn't a connection that you don't know about. It's not a connection where it's only one-sided on your end. Some of you guys may feel like it's one-sided right now, or you just feel alone in this right now, but this wasn't something that was completely one-sided. It's not something that you're pining after from the beginning. I feel like right now you may be pining after someone, or they're pining after you, and you've moved on or something, or whether that's romantically, friendship, or what have you. Someone is like holding on, and this is something that means a lot. And I feel like your approach to the situation is to handle this with care, like be very mindful of your feelings also, but be very mindful of the energy that you're taking on. Like if you're taking on too much, or if you're stressing yourself out. Are you tired of something? That is a sign that this may be a heavy energy, and time for you to find balance with it, because you have a lot of like grayish, darkish colors, and that makes me think of stagnation. Makes me think of leery, like being worried, weary, I guess you could say. And then you got the red, which represents the root chakra. So there needs to be some sort of grounding as well. But also another thing that Spirit wants you to focus on is the journey itself. There's like a journey, and it's like flowing with the energies, because you have homeland. It says arrival, a journey ends, establishment, building, and settled. So for some of you, it could be that this is the end. Maybe this is it. Maybe you have surpassed a certain connection with someone, or maybe someone has surpassed a certain connection with you. It could just be that it's at its end, okay? Whether it's a friendship, romantic, whatever, that some aspect of it has ended, or the situation itself has ended, or a connection or relationship has ended. But when one journey ends, you are in a new energy. You are faced with a new beginning, a new energy, or a new aspect of something. It's nothing ever is an end, and nothing is ever. It's like everything is a season, and it flows in its natural order. So this sea turtle can represent just taking things slowly, in moderation, and being practical at the same time, but being emotionally balanced and grounded, and flowing through your emotions, feeling what you feel, and honoring what you feel. You have number 44, number 22. So there's a lot of mirroring and master numbers going on. You have number 4 quite a bit too. You got number 40, number 31, which is 4 technically. 3 plus 1 is 4. 44, and then 22, you add 2 plus 2, that's 4. So you have a lot of 4s, and this represents stability and groundedness, but it can also represent all 4 elements. Aspects can represent foundations and establishments of some sort, and building energies as well. So this could be the key energies. You also have 3 quite a bit. You have number 30 and then number 31. So you got 3s, which is creation. Number 22 says divine sensuality, making love, and erotica. So the conclusion of all of this is that I feel this is loving up on yourself, but this can also represent a very passionate situation or something, or someone that you were once passionate about, or someone that was once passionate with you. This could have been a situation where this was someone you were sexually intimate with and you had a very deep connection with this person. And I feel that the conclusion may have been that this was a kind of lower based connection. It wasn't really of the higher chakras. It was like more of the carnal desires, the sexual desires, the survival mode. It wasn't really based off of the higher self and what you can learn and how you're progressing in life and unconditional love and loving yourself. It was more based off of the lower aspects. And maybe this was a connection that you made peace with and you're moving past because you see what it was. Maybe you're looking back at yourself in the past of who you used to be and being attached to these connections. If it's a friendship, then maybe it was just based off of superficialities, based off of, not true connectedness. It wasn't really transformative. It wasn't really empowering you or the other person, and you've come to realize that. And this woman is holding herself, so it's like she loves herself. And also this is a mirroring energy with telepathy. So it's like sometimes we have to speak to ourselves in a way that's loving, and maybe that's hard to do. Maybe it's hard for you to accept something within yourself, because it's like these two energies are like, it's got that red energy. So let's clarify with the tarot and see what we get. So you got the Five of Swords. Yeah, so someone is like kind of thinking about something or someone is thinking about something that was said, and maybe the words cut very deeply, or maybe you feel like you said something that could have been very hurtful or painful, where there's no return or no turning back. Maybe you feel like you messed a very good relationship up, or maybe someone else feels like they said something and they feel like they've messed something up. Could be with a water sign person, King of Cups, or you could be a water sign. Could be specifically with a Cancer or Scorpio or Pisces masculine energy, male or masculine. So what could have happened was that this was a touchy subject because maybe there was other people involved that played a role, because you have the Devil and the Three of Cups. So it could have been like a romantic third party where it was like cheating or someone else. Or it could have been that other people were involved with the situation. They were the cause of something, or maybe you feel like you allowed other people or this other person, or just it was multiple people that you're thinking about with this. And they're very touchy subjects. These are subjects that maybe you've been suppressing, or that have been stagnating or holding you back for quite some time, that you're facing and that you're confronting. I do see for some of you there will be some sort of until you free yourself, there won't be any it's like you won't be able to overcome this energy until you free yourself of feeling like you're stuck or hanging on or holding on to this energy. There may be some sort of, reuniting with someone close to you, if it's this person or others. I feel that you might need to surround yourself with people that understand the situation a little bit better, or some of you guys are going to be celebrating maybe perhaps a divorce or something, or celebrating something like coming out of this entrapment, and there's a celebration that comes. So a lot of cards. I want to clarify this card. So the Nine of Swords is that once you stop worried about where this is headed and where this journey goes, and you start to see the blessing in whatever it is that is, whatever, because there's always something good to take out of any situation. And it's like if you're able to see the silver lining and the blessing behind what is right now, you're going to be able to not only heal, but be more receptive to receive more, whether that be romantically, whether that be spiritually, whether that be just all around love, period, love for self, connectedness, what have you. You'll be able to receive that with the Ace of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. For some of you, you're haunted by the fact that, and you have to get over this energy at some point on your own time, But I feel with the willingness to release the worries as to why something didn't pan out the way that you wanted, because the Ace of Cups can also represent a potential of a relationship, what could have been. Um, the start of a relationship that never kicked off, or friendship, or some sort of business, maybe with the Page of Pentacles, an opportunity, a career. You know, why didn't I ever, you know, become this, or why didn't this happen? For some of you, maybe you wanted children with someone, and maybe you feel like that was stripped away from you. For others of you, it's just an opportunity. But when you have the willingness to overcome this fear, whatever this is, fear that you're never going to have, or that you're never ever going to, whether it's receive something that you desire already, or just goodness, period, the good. Almost like you don't trust that your spirit guides, your ancestors have your back, that the universe, God, has your back. But this child is like, they're blessed. They have this pentacle, they have this beautiful rainbow, this aura surrounding them with their fairy guides in the background. Some of you guys may specifically, you know, connect with fairies. Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Someone has learned their self-worth, or they're coming to value their self-worth. And I feel that, like, to be very honest, like some of you guys, when you take back your power through your body, because some of you guys may have been giving yourselves up sexually to people that really didn't deserve that from you, you know, and I feel like this is you having to see your value. You had to see both sides of things, and maybe you've been viewing yourself in value as to how other people treat you or see you, and now it's like, well, how do I see myself? How do I value myself? How do I treat myself? How should I start treating myself? What type of boundaries do I need to create with others? And it could also just be friendships as well, not allowing other people to take advantage of you, and the love that you have in your heart, and seeing yourself as worthy, and giving yourself back that love that maybe you've been giving so much to other people, especially those that didn't appreciate what you had to offer, and maybe didn't even deserve what you had to offer and give them. So you have a lot of earth energy, Capricorn specifically, because the Devil card is a Capricorn card, the Two of Pentacles is a Capricorn card, the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles can be any other earth sign as well as Taurus and Virgo. Then you got the Three of Cups, which can be specifically Cancer. The Five of Swords is Aquarius, and the Nine of Swords is Gemini specifically. But it doesn't have to be that you're of those signs or anybody else is of those signs. Those, you know, these could be aspects or archetypes of a person or a situation and an aspect. But the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, I can't help but think that there's some progression that has taken place. Like you started from the Page to the Queen. So there's been some growth here, whether you see it or you don't see it. And maybe this is something that you have to relearn, because you have a lot of children in these cards. You got the Five of Swords with the kids playing, the Page, and then these two children here. So this can also represent childhood. Okay, childhood friendships, childhood romances, childhood situations, whatever that took place, and growing out of those things. And or it could just be growth, rapid growth and change. But with the Pentacles, Pentacles kind of take time. They take years, maybe even months, whatever. It takes time to get to this point. And I feel that you're going to see that progression within yourself once you take that time out to really reflect upon all of this, if that makes sense. Well, let's kick this card off the table. So let's see if there's anything else that wants to come out. I feel like that was maybe too specific for some people. May not resonate with the whole collective. So let's see if there's anything that you might need to look forward to or a heads up. Let's see, for Monday, 27th, May 27th. today. Soul Cage. Rescue, escape from captivity and restrictions, number 24. So, yeah, it's kind of like until you, and then the telepathy card came out again. Air, and Coral Wisdom came out again, and this card was sticking to it. Song of the Siren. So, for some reason, I get this vibe again. It's just like some of you guys are having this strong inability to release something or someone in some way or some sort of aspect of a situation. And the more you try to carry others, or you try to carry the like this energy that is kind of a heavy energy, heavy load, heavy weight, something that may be dead, maybe it is released, maybe it could have something to do with literal, a loss of someone, physically losing someone. I feel that in some way when you learn that you can't rescue people, you're not meant to rescue, maybe help and extend a hand, but it's like you have this desire to want to give maybe all of you, or way more than what you have to give, or than what you're giving yourself. You give way too much for others, and that is not healthy. Self-love has to come first, because without that, what is love really? Do we really love ourselves, or are we taking pity, or we want others to take pity upon us, or we're taking pity upon other people? Not really utilizing that energy to empower ourselves or empower others. It's kind of like needing for other people to save you, or wanting to save other people to the point where you're not allowing them to live their own life and walk their own path. And that is more stifling and stagnating than it is unconditional and liberating. So I get, for some of you, that is the case, whether you're on the receptive end of it or the giving end of it. Telepathy again came out in the challenge position, so some of you guys are really having a hard time with understanding, trying to read and understand another person, maybe trying to get through and connect with someone. Others of you may feel so desperate to communicate that you're trying to send mind to mind messages, or communicate with this person through other means, whether it's spiritually, whether it's other people. Some of you guys are trying to get back in touch with yourself. You're having a hard time with really understanding what you are trying to say to yourself. What is your body trying to communicate? What are your thoughts trying to tell you? What are your dreams trying to tell you? You're having a little bit of a challenge with that. But Spirit is telling you, with the air card, it says breathing deep, entering into life, exchanging life-bringing energies. So it's kind of like you have to breathe life into yourself. So much so, because I get like this mirroring energy, because the telepathy card is the same mermaid looking at themselves, basically. And although this is a couple, I feel like it's saying, yes, breathe life into others, but it's like you have to breathe life into yourself. So much so that you've been trying to give and give into things and other people that you've lost your own life. You've lost yourself in something or another person. It's not saying that the situation is terrible for some. Maybe it's not a good situation, but in this instance and where it's at, it's not healthy. It's definitely not healthy for you and the person that you love, because if you're the person that is, giving and giving, and this person is taking, they're not at a place within themselves where they're standing on their own two spiritual feet, or feet necessarily. We can be there for people, we can help them, but at some point they have to learn to walk on their own. It's like a child, a baby. As much as you want to help your baby walk, at some point they have to learn how to do it on their own, until eventually they're able to master that. If you're a person excuse me, that feels like other people have to give something to you, and give, and you feel like you can't live, this is teaching you how to do that, how to do this. And I feel for some of you guys, you might need to meditate more, breathe more. Some of you guys may be very anxious, or you have anxiety. I think I picked that up in another reading, that some of you may struggle with anxiety. And breathing, it's like you gotta slow it down. It's like you've been extending too much of your energy into more than one area, or not giving or extending it to yourself. So Um, Another thing is with this card, it says Wonder Voyage, Crossing Deep Waters, Pilgrimage, and Journey of the Soul. So we had another journey card in this position as well. So your focus is going to be on your own personal journey and respecting the journey of other people and what they decide in their life. And maybe you are struggling with that for other people understanding where you're coming from and what your journey is and where you're headed, and them respecting it or not respecting it. And I feel like for some of you, it does require you not caring about what other people think, or not worrying about what someone else's choices and decisions are, or why did they do this and why did they do that, because all it does is it causes you to stagnate yourself in some way. It's simply just telling yourself, yes, this person may have made this decision to break up with me, or they cheated on me, or this person could have been very nasty towards me, or this person may decide that, they want to live their life like this, or they don't really want to get married. They, rather be in an open relationship with respect that, okay, I don't really agree with that, or I don't necessarily like it. I'm not happy with the decisions that you made, or I don't quite understand it. But I love you unconditionally enough to respect your decisions and allow you to live your own life, whether that be with me or without me, with respect for myself. If I don't agree with this, that doesn't mean that I'm going to, lower my standards or lower my boundaries or my self-worth for that. But it just says, I respect you in your decision, and I love you, whatever you decide to do, and whatever you decide to do. And that also goes for others. If you're on this end where you feel like people don't understand, or they don't respect you, your boundaries, your decisions, your beliefs, then you cannot back down from that and be like, okay, to make people feel comfortable. Because if it's like, you have to see it as unconditional love perspective. If these people really respect me and what I represent and what I want to do with my life, then they'll allow me to live my own journey. Because the journey, regardless of what other path you take, you're going to be led to your destination. That's the thing we have to remember. And it doesn't really matter what another person says or what they do. Even if you decide at that point that, this isn't for me, um, you know, I want to be this, and someone tells you you shouldn't do that, you should do this, and you do it. But then it's like it might not work out in the end, and it leads you to where you were meant to go anyway. So it doesn't matter which path you take or what decision you take, whether it's delayed, whether it's, some blockages along the way, doesn't matter. You're still going to be led to your destination. And I feel like that's for some of you. And then it could be understanding that you're going to, go your separate ways sometimes, or there's certain things or aspects of us that we have to leave behind, or that some people, whether they decide to be, something different, or they decide to be the same from what you remembered. It's with the respect of that and saying, okay, it's just, that's your journey, or, our journey, our time is up, whatever that may mean. So again, you have the Coral Wisdom card, which is about fragilities and a delicate situation, something that is important that may have been manifested or created over periods of time, whether it was a season, whether it was a year, month, whatever. It says the song of the siren. It says the call, summoning voice to knowledge. So some of you guys, over this time, I feel like, yes, you will find that whatever is of an important situation for you, that may be of a, a sensitive topic, or it could be very touchy for you, or just something that very, meant a lot to you for such a very long time, that you're going to start to, I feel like you might, be mindful of certain things that come to you that stand out. So it's kind of like signs of synchronicity, something that's going to come to you that's going to make a lot of sense. And I feel like it's going to make a lot of, give you a lot of peace, maybe help you change how you're looking at this, change your perspective. It's very wise, or you might speak to someone who's very wise, whether they're younger than you, older than you, it doesn't matter. Their wisdom is coming from a higher source. It doesn't have anything to do with age. This woman, she looks fairly young, but she has gray hair, which makes me think of wisdom, someone who's very wise, someone who is receiving, because the hair is the crown, so someone that is receiving divine guidance, ancient wisdom, um, ancestral wisdom. So it could be someone, it could be directly your ancestors or spirit guides come to you, or it could be a seasoned spirit guide, or someone in your circle or your life, or just someone that says something to you, whether it's directly or you come across something that resonates with you, whether it's a song, whether it's a sign on the street, a book you come across, or someone mentions something and you overhear them talking to someone else, or you come across something on TV or YouTube or something, radio, whatever. And for some of you specifically, it could be a song, okay? It could be a song from a woman, or a woman singing to you, and something just hits you and it resonates very deeply. It may be something that you need to pay attention to, but you will know its significance when it catches your attention, and it makes you feel or makes you think something. And you may even get sensations on your back, like chills on your back, chills on your face. Okay, it could be like a cold air around you, and that could represent a presence, a spiritual presence. Could be an ancestor or spirit guide's presence that you're feeling. So just be receptive to it. Especially if you get like a song and you hear something and it gives you the chills, or someone says something and it gives you the chills, or you come across a message from somewhere, and that is the call, that is the message, that is something that you need to take heed to, that is something you need to acknowledge. What else, Spirit? Is there anything else that wants to come out? The Five of Cups and Two of Cups. Some of you guys are mourning a very deep connection, or a connection that maybe you wanted very badly, or you're mourning the loss of a connection of some sort. But some of you guys may need to make peace with it, and that still comes with unconditional love. So it's like, it might be a situation that's not easy, and I feel that some of you guys, the situation may not be over. Some of you guys, you're going to come back together. For some of you need to hear that. If that sits well in your heart, if it resonates, as not like wishful thinking and being delusional, but if it really feels like it means something to you, some of you guys will be led back together. And I feel like it could be at a time where you both need each other, that you come back together. And this could be not only romantic, but this could be friendships, it could be family situations. If this is a situation where someone has passed on, you will be together again. If this is a pet that you've lost, I feel you will be together again. Some of you guys may be mourning the loss of a pet. For some of you, some of you guys may need to comfort someone that has lost a pet, I feel. Because it was like a very, like a companion. Maybe this was like this person's child or something. Like the pet was like their baby, their family. And maybe you need to be there for them. It could be that maybe your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your lover had a pet or something that passed away. And they might need you to be there to comfort them. If you guys are wondering whether a pet that went missing is coming home, for some of you, I feel like they are going to come home because they miss you. It's like you and this pet have a very strong bond, a very strong connection. So I do see that. So if you guys live in like a beach area where there's like an ocean or something, if you guys are mourning someone, connect with them through the ocean. It could be maybe one of your animals love the water or love the ocean. Connect with them in the water. Maybe you have like a relative or family member that passed on that love the water, or a loved one, a lover that connects to the water. And I feel some of you guys, if you're into ancestral work or whatever, um, maybe honor them by giving something to the ocean, like an item, releasing an item in the ocean or something, or maybe you find something significant at the ocean or something and then you take it. But for those of you who are lovers who have broken up or separated from someone, maybe overseas, or just maybe you guys live in both of you guys live in like California or Florida or something, I don't know, somewhere where there's oceans and you guys connect again. I'm here in Puerto Rico too. Like you guys connect again, like you will see each other again for some of you, because I get that this was a mutual connection, even if it may not be right now, or maybe you guys had to separate. This is not a situation where you want somebody that doesn't want you and you're chasing after somebody that's not giving you a time of day, that's not, you know, they don't want anything to do with you. It's not that. I get the vibe that these are connections where two people were equally invested and interested at some point, but something separated them. And I feel like you guys might have had to separate and you guys are not communicating. My throat started to get clogged up. You guys are not communicating, and I feel like you guys are like desperate for answers and clarity, or you're trying to communicate with this person. Maybe you are receiving telepathic messages from this person, and I get more so that it's not through the mind. It's not a mind to mind thing. It's more of an emotional based energy. It's an energy that you feel. It could also be through your dreams, because I do feel like the mind to mind thing sometimes can be very deceptive. You know, our imagination can get carried away, but when you feel this person's energy, or you smell them, you see things that remind you of them, or you see them in your dreams, that is more so of a telepathic cord. Because twins will tell you, like, yeah, they might think about each other and they'll be like, oh, I thought about you, are you okay? You know, they can sense when their twin sister or twin brother is, you know, feeling something or going through something. It's more of a sensation. It's more of an energy that is felt. Like, I just felt impulsive to reach out to you, or, you know, you just know when they're in trouble. And some twins have dreams about their, you know, their other twin and things like that, because they've been together since birth. So it's like, you and this person have a connection like that. It's not so much like you hear this person's voice in your head, although that is aspects of it. I feel this is more of an emotional thing with these cups being here. So their presence is felt. And I got that with the coral wisdom, because it's like these corals kind of look like, I don't know, like, they kind of look like cells, or like cords or something in the body, like some sort of electricity. So it could be that some of you guys, it's a sensation, it's something you just feel, like it gives you chills, or you feel like they're there with you, you feel like someone's touching you. And it may also be that these are your pets, or these are your passed over loved ones that you also feel like this, that are trying to communicate with you. You know, they want to communicate. They are telling you that they're around. But yeah, I just get that some of you guys will be coming back together, because some of you guys, it's a point where you're ready to give, because maybe at some point you and this person were not giving to the connection equally. Maybe some of you guys were too caught up in your own madness and sadness, or just other things, that you could not devote time to each other, and maybe it just had to happen that way. And it's like you guys may come back together at a time where you may be going through something, but at the same time, it's like you know better now. Let me see what the card after. The Five of Pentacles. So you have two fives. It could also be that someone just didn't feel deserving. Maybe some of you guys will also come to meet someone new that has something to offer and that equally gives to you. If it be that someone is not meant to come back into your life, someone will come into your life who has something to offer. Others of you, it'll just be like a friend or someone new, like a new friendship or someone, or I feel like they'll be there for you and you'll know that this is something that you should be open to by the way that you give to each other. It's not one-sided. It's not going to be I'm single and then this guy or this girl is like after me and I'm not interested, but they're pining after me, or they could be a good guy or a good, good woman, but I'm not interested. It will never be that. I feel like this will be a mutual thing with this Two of Cups and the Five of Cups, because they're both embracing each other on both cards. So it may be sad, maybe for some of you to like let that animal go, but some of you guys, it could be you will have another, you will have another pet again. But I just get that for some of you, and like at this point in your life where you're kind of feeling a little bit low, you might meet someone that gives to you, and it's not on a crutch codependent type of, oh, I'm going through something, I have this savior type energy. It's more of feeding each other equally, and I feel it's equally beneficial, this connection, whether it's a friendship that comes in or a romantic interest comes in or a new pet. It's meant to give something of value to you, but it also requires someone seeing their self-worth. Yeah, I kind of get that this energy could be like a more masculine energy, or a person that's more of maybe the one that was more stronger or more of the authoritative, or more that masculine energy basically is going to be at a low point, and that may be when they come around again. And I can see how these cards will kind of look like if someone like this comes into your life, they could drain you. And it could be that for some of you that it's not the time. But I feel like this is different because this person is like wanting to get out of this funk. They no longer want to be here with the Chariot card. It's like they don't want to be in this energy anymore. They want to be in this Chariot energy where they're focusing on moving forward and being successful and living a happy life, and finally allowing spirits or their higher selves, whatever they believe in, something outside of their ego, their lower aspect of their ego at least, but allowing a higher power to move them in a positive direction on the up and up, rather than being in this energy of being depleted and drinking and smoking away their life, or just having sex with people, or just distracting themselves with negative thinking and thoughts and pitying themselves and being pessimistic and I don't deserve this, and getting out of that energy and being willing to change. And they come back, and you may be that person as well, that someone else is there for you, or you're there for each other. It's like now it's like we're on the same page. The Devil card, someone wants to be free out of this. This came out already too. I want to get out of this energy. I don't want to be here, because it's like she sees all these jewels. She sees all this potential, all these things that she could have, and it's like she wants some of that. And she's also on land as well. She's very vulnerable in this space. It's like a fish out of water, very vulnerable, feeling like they're lost, like they don't have any air. And for some of you, you're not going to feel, until you get out of this energy, you're going to be under the illusion that you can't live without this person, or you can't live without this, or I don't know how I'm going to do this, until you get out of here. Okay? So you might receive help from people close to you. It could be that these are people that come to you at the right time to help you move past these energies, free yourself out of this prison, because it's really the ego, it's really the lower self, this energy that wants you to think that you're stuck, this aspect of you that really literally believes that there's nothing better outside of this energy, and that this is it, or I can't do this, or it's a suffocating lower energy. Yep, the Eight of Swords. And this is not real. The Eight of Swords is just a mental trap that we created for ourselves. You know, we bound ourselves here. We can free ourselves. Like, no one else around is doing this to you. This is all happening, you know, this is self-inflicted. The Two of Pentacles comes out again. So it's all how you choose, which side of the coin you choose to look at. How do you wish to perceive these things? Finding balance with what really matters. Sometimes you have to weigh the pros and the cons of, does this thought serve me? Does this position where I'm at, does it really serve me? And it has to also come to the point where some of you guys might have to think about your children if you're stuck in this energy. Some of you guys may have to have like a childlike perspective of, does this really matter? Because children get over things fairly quickly. Usually they don't really hang on to things. So it's like, how are you, which way do you choose to look at this? And for some of you, maybe comparing your childhood. Some of you guys may be looking at how your childhood how it affected you, or how someone else's childhood affected you. Some of you guys may be going as far back as to the genesis of a situation or a connection, and weighing the pros and the cons of, okay, well, I'm going to go from the beginning and see, did it serve me back then? The Nine of Swords is like, don't allow yourself to be tormented by your fears. Don't allow yourself to be tormented or overthinking about all of the what ifs, especially when it comes to the future, because you don't want to be in that space creating from this space, because the future, that's not your concern so much. At least not your concern to be fearful and worried in a negative sense. That's the last energy you want to put out towards your future. Doesn't even serve you. And even if, you know, the future is mapped up, what good does it serve you to worry about a future that's already mapped out for you and put the negatives in the way and operate from that fear? But if you're fearful, your fear is based off of your worry or your insecurities, your doubts, your anxiety is focused on the past. That's like, that doesn't exist anymore. Some of you guys are haunted by something you thought was over, or that something that has been lost or is gone. You know, it's constantly tormenting yourself with these thoughts. And it's like, these are the thoughts that are unnecessary. They're stagnating. The King of Cups comes out again. So this could be centered around a King of Cups energy, a water sign person, excuse me, a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, specifically a man, or someone who's masterful in their emotions. And this could represent getting a hold of your emotions. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't feel anything or you should be cold, but it's the wisdom of what love is, and boundaries, healthy boundaries, and self-love, and honoring the love that you represent and that you have to offer, and the love that you have around you from those that give, and at the same time being comfortable to acknowledge your feelings regardless of what that may be, and also honoring what you feel and be like, this is what I feel. You know, sometimes it may not always be right or what's really right or wrong, but it may not be a good feeling at the time, but this is how I feel. You know, it's honoring that. That's the King of Cups. So I'm going to pull an advice card. Oop, come on now. Or just, you know, it's like an upper lifter card from the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle cards. I'm very sleepy, but I'm gonna pull one more card. Just thank you. Just as a message. Morning affirmations. Stay positive each morning to open the gates of manifestation. So every morning counts. It's like a fresh new beginning. It's a fresh new start. It's an opportunity to make something out of this day. Like, you were given another day for a reason. It's a purpose to be, you know, to be alive. And it's like, okay, what are you going to do with that? What's going to be the purpose? What am I going to be doing moving forward? So maybe morning affirmations could be, you know, getting up and saying, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, or I'm blessed, I'm healthy, I have a purpose. Or it could just be prayer when you wake up in the morning. People have their different ideals of what prayer represents. Traditionally, prayer is Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I ask for your, whatever, or I ask for protection, blah, 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 or I ask for today to be a good day. I ask you to help me move forward. Whatever your prayer is, whatever your affirmations are, every morning, because it gives us a sense of direction and it gives us, that 1 foot forward into the day. So that's what I'm getting. It needs to be said, meant to help. I hope that resonates with you guys. And I'm sending much love. If you guys would like a personal reading, you guys can definitely book a reading with me. If you guys have questions about my readings, as far as availability, um, you guys can email me directly at one of my Gmail accounts, which will be in the description box below. If you guys would like to purchase a reading directly, please check out my website, which will also be in the description box below. Follow me on Instagram if you would like. That will be in the description box. And I will see you guys soon for the next daily reading and other readings. Until next time, peace.